Nigger is not a word I use lightly, but when I think of Chris Brown, it's the first word that pops to mind. I have this weird feeling that my clitoris remove line will haunt me for a while. Oh well, fuck Chris Brown and the dumb hoes who love him. Any female who defends Chris Brown needs to have their clitoris removed. Harsh, I know, but so is defending a woman beater.
Turn off that pesky
fucking nigger!
Turn off that pesky
Nigger!
Turn off that pesky
Nigger!
Turn off that pesky
Fucking nigger!
Mundane Matt
Is doing this shit. You fucking nigger! I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna. Yo, everybody type in the chat.
Mundane Matt is a stupid nigger.
Just type in the chat.
Mundane Matt is a stupid nigger.
Fucking.
Mundane Matt's history of flagging people he doesn't like isn't a new thing. In fact, it goes all the way back to 2013 when he attempted to get infamous video game critic Anita Sarkeesian deplatformed via false flagging. You know you fucked up when I have to defend Anita Sarkeesian of all people, but it must be done. I firmly believe everybody has the right to express their own opinions, regardless of how controversial or unpopular it is. I also believe content creators have the right to express their opinions without fear that their videos will be taken down just because someone doesn't like it. Matt committed the ultimate no-no by engaging in deplatform, which is a common tactic used by SJWs. Why is this a problem now? These tweets were made 5 years ago. The reason Matt was able to get away with this was because at the time he was a relative unknown. Nobody knew who he was, so this tweet pretty much went under the radar. But when his career took off and he started criticizing other people for doing the exact same thing, that's when it became a problem. Matt's views on censorship are exactly the same now as they were in 2013 because he's still doing it. He's still false flagging people, which is incredibly ironic considering he became famous because of censorship. On August 19th, 2014, indie game developer Zoe Quinn filed a false DMCA claim against Matt's video discussing the Zoe post, which was created by Zoe's ex-boyfriend, Aaron Joney. The blog in question detailed how their relationship fell apart and how she cheated on him with 5 other men who just so happened to work in the video game industry, among many other things. The resulting backlash and fallout that came from Zoe's pathetic attempt to censor Matt quickly became known as Zoegate, which would eventually become Gamergate. You likely know about all of this because Matt wouldn't shut up about it. At every possible opportunity, he bragged about how Zoe false flagging him was the catalyst that kicked off Gamergate, and in turn made him e-famous, which led some to accuse him of being an opportunist that only cared about the Gamergate scandal because of the fame he got from it, rather than the issues the scandal brought to light.
With that DMCA, man, fucking put me in the center. It did, and I talked about it a lot, much to getting some comments from a lot of people saying that I've just been milking this and trying to do all this shit as a result. And you know what? Maybe they're not wrong. You know, milking it may not be the word I would use, but definitely keeping my presence known, I will admit to that. But there's a reason for that, though. There is. It's not just because of the new added attention. I'm at this point, I'm approximately 29,942 or 43 YouTube subscribers. So it's safe to assume that later today, I'll crack that 30K. And that's cool as hell, man. But that's not why I've been putting myself in the middle of this shit. That's not why this stuff has happened and I've been involved. Because as one of maybe 4 people at the epicenter of this entire 2-week-long debacle, and yeah, I'm putting myself right there in the fucking center because I'm sorry, my DMCA sparked this shit. So let's not forget that either. So first and foremost, Internet Aristocrat and Adam Baldwin are going to be talking on the radio about Gamergate tomorrow. Sometime with someone. I'm going to link to it in the video description. I just know it's happening. I don't know a lot of the details. So get ready for that. It should be interesting. And I'm kind of anxiously awaiting someone involved in that to say my name. Hint, hint, wink, wink, IA. I'm looking at you. Loves you. The false DMCA against myself serving as the linchpin for this entire debacle. I can tell you that that is being written out of the narrative.
Over the course of the next 4 years, Matt's career would take off in a big way. He went from 10,000 subscribers in 2014 to over 159,000 by early 2018, which is absolutely astonishing for a man that made rants in his car years earlier in Santa Monica. But as we all know, Matt's meteoric rise to fame was not all sunshine and rainbows. He made a lot of enemies along the way. The enemies we're about to talk about would eventually end up leading to Matt's downfall. In 2017, Matt was swatted. Hours before the swatting took place, he got into a Twitter argument with drama aficionado and resident gnome Daniel Keem, aka Keemstar. Their entire Twitter spat was over G Fuel. I wish I was kidding about that, but sadly I'm not. At the time, Keemstar was a widely despised figure that was known to be shady, underhanded, and manipulative. The actual swatting took place mere hours after their Twitter argument. Because of this, many had assumed that Keemstar had swatted Matt in retaliation. Even Matt himself thought this, which is why he told the FBI that Keemstar had swatted him. The FBI questioned Keem about it and were able to quickly come to the conclusion that Keem had nothing to do with Matt's swatting. That sounds pretty shitty. Why wasn't Matt taken to task for this? The reason Matt didn't face any backlash for this is because at the time he was a well-respected internet personality and Keemstar was the devil incarnate, or to be more technically accurate, the internet equivalent of Adolf Hitler. So while this controversy barely made a dent in his reputation, what it did reveal was that he had a shady side and wasn't afraid to use it on those he didn't like, which became increasingly evident in 2018. He flagged Cognitive Thought for uploading a significant portion of a Kilroy livestream he did with Mr. Medicare. Now, to be fair, out of all the people he flagged, this is the only one that is justifiable, because Cog didn't transform the video in any meaningful way. It didn't classify as fair use, which is why Matt had the video taken down. Now, with that being said, I can't let Matt off the hook either, because he himself uploaded the entire gameplay demonstration for Fallout 4 from Bethesda's E3 2015 press conference, which he didn't transform at all, which is not fair use and is, you know, stealing.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Aiden Paladin called out Matt for his hypocrisy regarding Pizzagate and the Steele dossier. Matt had dismissed those who believed in the Pizzagate conspiracy while fully believing the Steele dossier without any evidence, because after all, how could you not believe that Trump wanted to go to Russia to pee on women? And what was his response?
Matt, before you talk all this mad shit about me, once you actually talk to me, you won't do it? I'd have never asked you for any money. What I asked you money for was to talk to Hard Bastard. Because you said... Yes, because you are a bitch made nigga. And this is what you need to do. You need to...
Okay, you can think that. That's fine. I don't care.
No, you're gonna cry. Because the thing is, honey...
What? I don't know you. I don't know you.
I got
him. I don't care about you. Aiden, stop. Aiden, stop. You can sit there.
If you don't know her, why are you retweeting her saying she has
why are you talking shit about me all the time, huh? You don't know me, why are you talking shit? Oh, that's weird. Oh my god. Why would you be talking so much shit about me if you don't know who I am?
The host of the morning Kumite, Tonkasaw, offered $1,500 to debate Hard Bastard, which Matt promptly declined. This gave everybody the impression that Matt was a coward who couldn't defend himself when someone criticized his inconsistent and downright hypocritical viewpoints. As the year went on, things continued to go to shit. Godwinson made a video titled I Hate Mundane Matt, where he detailed the issues he had with Matt's content, and wouldn't you know it, within a few days the video was falsely flagged. Not long after that, Dame Pesos, the host of the satirical parody news show, The Soyless Matt Show, was flagged, along with numerous other content creators that made videos that were critical of Matt. We also can't forget that he shilled for Kilroy and Candid, exploited a tragedy for Twitter verification, called comic book artist Ethan Van Sciver a piece of shit, and supported Maddox's frivolous lawsuit against his former friend Dick Masterson. All of these incidents destroyed Matt's reputation in the court of public opinion and played a part in his downfall, but if I had to pick a day where he finally died for good, it would have to be August 10th, 2018.
I have a lot of tabs open, but I have...
Thanks for reporting!
But nothing on...
Now, wait a minute!
Nothing on that. That's just...
What the fuck?
So... I have been in a not the best place mentally. And...
Now wait a minute, Matt! No! Matt! No!
I'm sorry, but look, dude, at the history of the screenshot, right? The history of the screenshot, what we saw was anybody making a video talking shit about Matt Mundane getting flagged by Matt Mundane or whatever the fuck your name is.
But
that's what we saw.
But if you saw
Don't butt me, motherfucker. Done. Guilty. Case closed.
That is on me. I have made
Case closed. If somebody cries about Matt Mundane or whatever the fuck your name is, you flag them. Case closed.
I could wax on poetic about how despicable Matt's actions are, but I've got something way better than that. My good friend Kayla, who most of you know as Chambers of My Heart, has been following this entire situation very closely, and has her own perspective on this entire shit show. Take it away, Kayla.
So, pretty much with Matt, when it comes to actually taking care of things, or dealing with the shit he caused, or was a part of, Matt tends to duck and run. I've had my own experience with this. He's all smiles until stuff comes out and he has to acknowledge his mistakes, or rather correct what he said. During my fight with Joy Sparkle BS last year, Matt and I followed each other on Twitter and even DM'd once in a while. Matt would poke at Joy and shit-talk her. Now, when Joy and I got together and put together the full story of what actually happened, needless to say we were both pissed and presented our case on the kumite. When this was done, or I was advertising that specific kumite, instead of Matt talking to me about anything or correcting what he had said about Joy, the guy not only unfollows me, but forces me to unfollow him by blocking and unblocking. Now, I was not irritated with the unfollowing, but with the sneaky behavior and ducking down. I remember the Candid incident and how him, along with several others in the skeptic community, didn't come to Harmful Opinions' defense when Harmful got his channel hacked and purged. Not to mention another player who was digging up stuff, Johnny Fox. Matt would constantly poke at him, mocking him during the Candid incident. The app itself was not only exposed for being a breeding ground for pedos to pass each other CP, but it also was training an AI that would later be implemented to YouTube. Let's cut to the flagging incident where Matt flagged at several people, including Tonka Saul, Fair Accomplished, Dan Pesos, Andy Worski, and quite a few others. I think he even got a small channel terminated. During the kill stream, Matt was asked about the flagging of several people by Ralph and Medicare. When he was then requested to show his report history on top of being shown how, he took 20 minutes doing so. Many believe he was trying to go through and scrub out past reports. Well, Matt didn't do a good enough job. When Matt finally did show his report history, not only did it reveal who he had reported, it showed that he pretty much lied bold-faced to the entire kill stream and its audience. Ever since then, Matt has been hemorrhaging subs. He also made some shitty excuse that he was suicidal during the times of the flagging. Talk about being low and digging the hole deeper. Many requested an apology from him and pulling the strikes off. I know I personally requested for him to get in touch with Ben, the trusted flagger, to get the channels that Matt struck back to their full health. Cognitive Thought, for example, is screwed from streaming on his main channel for 3 months. I believe due to Matt's false flagging. There are rare and serious circumstances to where you flag videos. I have my own set of rules for flagging, doxing, pedophilia, serious harm. It should be more than obvious. I've said this on my own channel that I have quite a few videos shit-talking me, even to the point of slander, but they're all still up for the most part because I never struck them. I never will either. YouTube's reporting system is busted, and seeing how Matt is verified with a high sub count, he can easily get videos pulled whether or not they break terms of service. What makes this shitstorm even worse is when Matt did quote-unquote apologize, instead of making a public video stating specifically what he did and owning up to his BS, he puts out a hollow apology on Tumblr no less, not even naming the people he wronged or screwed over. To top it off, he keeps posting videos like nothing ever happened and thinking all of this will blow over without him properly addressing it. Now, I don't hate Matt, but the guy has proven to be spineless on top of clinging to his channel like it's some sort of lost treasure. You guys remember his video when he got his play button and freaking sobbed over the generic letter from Susan that all button recipients receive? Seriously, it's a freaking hunk of metal. Also, due to his crying video, this has spawned a series of memes of Lego Matt, as you see here. There was a video It all began with, now removed, to where Matt was animated as a Lego man crying over his button. It's also become a meme that the button should be given to Tonkasaw, who has demanded such button on his streams. Now, when it comes to the actual value of the YouTube Play button, when you take the time to look around and see what has happened to big YouTubers like Suit Yourself, Mr. Dapton, and so on, you'll find that the button doesn't mean shit when your channel can get pulled for practically nothing. It's rare nowadays when a channel gets fully restored. Ben the Trusted Flagger has proven to be silent on a lot of false terminations or wrongful ones. Matt does appear to realize this, continuing to make himself look like a clown in all this. Now, don't get me wrong, becoming big on here is no small feat and takes a huge personality along with charisma. A few things I lack, but Matt's jump was the incident he was involved with people like Anita and Zoe. Also, what has jumped quite a few YouTubers in the career on here with being involved in different situations. However, not all YouTubers are able to hold on to that boost. I know myself was one of them. It happens. With Matt, I feel as though he won't recover from this due to his response. He's lost over 10,000 subs in a span of days. That's a few years of work. That's not only crazy, but that should be very much a wake-up call for him to really step up his game in this. Matt has had another situation in the past where he defended a grown woman having sex with a minor, stating that it was some sort of fantasy of hers. As far as I know of that case, Matt never retracted what he said but doubled down on it. Unfortunately, I don't think Matt will get it until his channel is completely lost. It's my belief that his time on this platform has been served and that it's time to move on to other things. Is Matt's channel repairable? Realistically speaking, small chance if that. And that's only if Matt comes out from his hidey hole to make amends with people. Some have even suggested that Matt financially pay people the money that he has cost them due to his false flagging campaign, to which I don't see as unreasonable. That's just me. Well, I think I've said enough here. Back to you, Douglas.
Mundane Matt passed away on August 10th, 2018, and he's not coming back. I take no pleasure in proclaiming the death of a channel that has provided me with endless hours of entertainment over the last 4 years, but as a critic and a rational human being, I can't see Matt's career ending in anything but disaster. He had it all: fame, money, a successful career, and a loyal fan base, but he threw it all away because he couldn't handle criticism and people making fun of him. His actions have damaged his career to the point where nobody will take him seriously ever again. Honestly, at this point, Matt should just leave YouTube and the internet in general altogether, because his chances of surviving this false flagging controversy are about as likely as the Toronto Maple Leafs winning the Stanley Cup. Mundane Matt built his entire career on being a free speech advocate, but when he went against those principles to censor those that criticized him, he proved that he was no better than Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian. In essence, he became the very same thing that he hated. And that was the day Mundane Matt died. Mundane Matt passed away. He killed his own YouTube career. He's a false flagger today. He's in a bad headspace. He almost killed himself. It was a lie to cover up. His war chest filled with soy. He's a liar and a snake. What have I become? I'm a soy-filled bitch. My career is done. It's all over for me. And you could have it all. My dying channel. I will betray you, 'cause I'm filled with soy. I'm sorry for everything. It was a human error. I love lying to you. It will all blow over. I'm hiding 'cause I'm a coward. I'm too afraid to face the truth. I lie to everyone. I'll give Tonka my play button. What have I become? I'm a soy-filled bitch. My career is done. It's all over for me, and you could have it all. My dying channel, I will betray you, 'cause I'm filled with soy. If I could start again, my channel wouldn't exist. I would work